I have a new sweater and it's Tuesday. This can only mean one of two things. New exciting books to read! The Lives We Lost by Megan Crew, and this is about a girl who, she's survived this virus. Her friends, her family have died, and she's also losing her home. The Indigo Spell by Rochelle Mead, and this involves humans, not so humans, vampires, but also some alchemy. Happy Ever After by Kirby Larson, and this seems kind of like American Girls Grown Up, maybe a little bit. It's definitely like a historical fiction set in the early 20th century, and it's about this girl who, she's been living with her uncle for a while at his homestead, whatever that means, and now she's decided that she needs to hit the big city to work for the newspapers. Pivot Point by Cassie West, and this is about a girl whose parents have gotten a divorce, and she has to decide between going and living with her father, which means going and living with normal people, or living with her mother in the paranormal world or community, and kind of staying in her comfort zone. Arcadia Burns by Kai Meyer, and this is about a girl who her sister and her aunt have both tragically died, and now she's kind of the head of the family, having to deal with a lot of business and a lot of responsibilities, even with these bloodthirsty family members. Not sure if that's literal or not, but she's also kind of befriended, I don't know. Well, she's fallen in with the enemy, so you know how that can turn out. Out of the Easy by Ruta Septes, and this is more like Out of the Big Easy, because it's about this girl who, she's 17 years old living in New Orleans, and she is the daughter of a brothel prostitute, which I'm sure is very interesting, but it's set in the 1950s, and so I'm sure there's a lot of great things to be said about it, and I've only heard good things from like book bloggers and stuff like that, and so I am excited to read this one, yes. Notes from Ghost Town by Kate Ellison, and I saw this cover a couple weeks ago. It's a tragic cover, it is, but yeah. But the story sounds really great. I read a part of Butterfly Clues, which is Kate Ellison's previous book, and it was really good. And she writes a lot about mental illness and stuff like that, and this book is about a girl who is visited by the ghost of her first love, and I guess he's been murdered, and she has to figure out, not really who did it, it's not a whodunit kind of thing, but I think she has to figure out the truth and stuff like that. Don't know if he's leading it to her or not, but she's an artist and she has gone colorblind in coincidence with seeing ghosts, so that's unfortunate, and I'm excited to see where this one goes. Might have to pick this one up. Dance of Shadows by Yelena Black, and this is about a girl who, when she dances, she does ballet, she has some sort of powers kind of kicking in. The Mirrored Shard by Caitlin Kittredge, and this is a sequel? Yeah, I think it's the second part in a series of books, and it is, I guess it has to do with fairies and stuff like that, and so this girl, she is from the fairyland, something like that. Don't know for sure, haven't read this series, but basically she has lost her love, her dude, to some of the stuff, and she has to kind of face brave death in order to get him back. And so, don't you love human girl heroines? Missile Child by Ari Burke, and this is about a guy who is an undertaker, and there's a lot of dark magic? Stuff like that going on, fantasy, so it seems like a pretty interesting thing, not your usual YA, seems like very dark magic stuff. Sever by Lauren Stefano, and this is the third and final book in the Chemical Garden trilogy, and basically the series, not to spoil the, if I summarize this book I would be spoiling the rest of the series, but basically there's this whole thing about, after a certain age, people die, or I think it's guys die, something like that. But basically there's this whole all this experimentation has been going on and it's just gone awry. And so this book is kind of like dealing with all of that. So I guess there's some science fiction in there. I heard something about dystopia. Maybe. Maybe. Where there is science, there might also be dystopia. The Gathering Dark by Christine Johnson, and this is about a girl who hallucinates and the boy with the cure. Rebel by Marissa Gibbard, and this is about a girl who, she kind of wants to go to Trespass Island even though it's being, protected by a group of people, and, her mother's been telling her, no, don't do that. Bad. She meets this fisherman, he wants to protect her. She also meets this guy who seems kind of, elusive and whatnot. And of course, you know what happens there. Out of Nowhere by Maria Pudane, and this is about a guy named Tom who has had the perfect existence in high school, if you could ever imagine that, until a group of Somalians move into the neighborhood. Basically, it's the aftermath of 9/11, and they don't feel safe wherever they were. I guess either in Somalia or maybe they were in New York. Who knows? But basically, they moved into wherever it was, like Michigan or something like that. Very white, kind of neighborhood and place to live, And so this kind of deals with like Tom and his thoughts and feelings about all of this. So that is all for this week. I hope that you go pick up some of these up. I know I want to pick up at least like 3 of them or so. If you will tell me in the comments below, what do you want to read this week? What are you looking for in a book? Tell me in the comments below. Also, I don't know. Beautiful Creatures is coming out this week. Are you going to go see it? Tell me! Because I saw it last week because I got an early screening pass and it was pretty good. I think it's worth the money, I would say. So I hope you all have a great day and see you next Tuesday.